All right, get ready for a fucking ride, boys and girls. The debate America never asked for, but America 1000% deserves. And I mean that in terms of entertainment value and intellectual quality. These next clips we're about to go over are 100% everything we deserve as a culture. It's Ethan Klein of H3, noted podcaster and Jew, versus Hasan Piker. By the way, can you hear Hasan Piker's name without thinking of the Sam Hyde thing?
Thanks to you, no. No, I can't.
Every time
I hear Hasan, I'm coming to kill you. In the ring? No, in your house.
My children are picky as hell, and they wanted vanilla extract for their French toast mixture. Okay. And I was out of vanilla extract, so I had to go to the grocery store. And I turned on a little bit, like I had a little bit left of I was listening to Destiny's reaction to the Hasan Piker, Ethan Klein debate. And he said Hasan Piker, and I just, in my head as I'm walking back to my car, I go, Hasan Piker! I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. And then I hear, you mean in the ring? No, in real life. It's just, I can't hear Hasan Piker's name without hearing Sam Hyde shout that he's going to murder him. So, Hasan Piker, noted terrorism lover. And by the way, Hasan Piker, can we stop any of the allegedlys or anything like this? This guy fucking loves Muslim terrorists. Hasan Piker straight up thinks Muslim terrorism is fucking cool. And here's what's retarded and asinine about him. He thinks Islamic terrorism is cool, and he comes from wealthy parents, and then he has this wealthy life that he lives from his Twitch money and his streaming money. This is a guy who has never, there has not been another person who has ever benefited so much from Western society and capitalism and colonialism and everything else.
Right.
And yet he sits here and LARPs as a fucking Muslim freedom fighter where he'd be fucking dead if they took over.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be gone.
He can't speak out. Well, I mean, I don't think he'd be gone. I think he'd be just a little whipping boy in their society. I don't think he'd stand up to people. Or
no, I don't think the Islamists, if he went and lived in their area, they wouldn't keep him around. He'd be considered too gay.
Probably.
So Hasan Piker has extremely wealthy parents. Comes from his uncle is the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, and he has his money from streaming, and he'll wear a Rolex. He got caught during this debate with Ethan Klein drinking a soda that was on the BDS list, the boycott, divest, and sanction list for supporting Israel.
Right.
And Ethan would call him out on this shit because Hasan's biggest thing is that he talks all the talk. I'm a freedom fighter. I wear my gay fucking Palestine scarf on stream as a performative act. But this guy has been caught drinking Diet Coke, been caught drinking Dr. Pepper, been caught using a bunch of stuff that's supposed to be, hey, if you're down for the Palestinian cause, you can't be using any of this stuff. And
so do you think like his online personality is a bit?
No, I think he's a college sophomore fake activist who never grew up because he never had to, because he'd always have money.
Yeah.
Whether the streaming thing worked or not. And I think he's convinced a bunch of online retards who are A, hungry for anything anti-Israel, or B, hungry for any kind of clout to attach themselves to him. This guy has the attitude of a little fucking college baby boy who every time he gets disagreed with, he throws his arms up and he goes, okay, all right, whatever. Can't argue his points, can't defend his points, can't stay consistent because he flies off the handle all the time and says crazy shit. Then when he gets asked to defend it, he goes, that's not what I said.
Thank God it's not recorded.
And the motherfucker, like, his side can't do anything wrong. Hezbollah. He can't criticize fucking Hezbollah. He can't criticize Hamas. These are both.
I feel like there's done plenty for criticism.
I mean, look, You don't have to like Israel. Certainly, I have my problems with Israel. And by the way, my problem with Israel is not that they want to conquer the West Bank and the Gaza Strip and run out the Palestinians. I don't give a fuck what you guys do. Kill each other. I don't give a shit. I want my country to stay the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
that's
kind of all I'm on.
People are like, oh, your criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic. I don't care if Israel conquers the fucking Middle East. Go for it. Genghis Khan the thing. Firebomb it. I don't give a shit. I don't want to be a party to it. Yeah, I don't want to be involved.
Our people, our money, and everything else out of it. But
if Israel wiped out Hamas and Hezbollah, I'd be thrilled. I think that would be great for the whole world. I just don't want to give it money. I don't want to give it weapons. I don't want to be involved. I'll deal with whoever wins. But Hasan Piker has this thing where he can't fucking criticize any of these things. He's got such a childish view. Meanwhile, he lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion. He drives $100,000 cars. He lives a life of pig shit luxury, and he LARPs as some kind of freedom fighter. He LARPs as some kind of pro-Islamist, anti-Israel guy. And yeah, I'm going to agree with Ethan Klein. Hasan Piker and these other guys are so fucking nuts that they make me side with Ethan. Because they don't make any sense. And if Ethan Klein can make you look silly in a debate, you deserve to lose because Ethan Klein is not exactly a Rhodes Scholar. So Ethan and Hasan had a show together called Leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a big breakup because October 7th happened back in 23. And Israel-Palestine was a big breaking point for those two. And now they've basically been nitpicking at each other online forever and ever and ever. Well, Finally, they had a debate. And guess what? It was as gay and as lame and as bitchy and as cunty as ever, starting from the very first clip we're going to show you. And the moments where Hasan Piker was on the ropes and got caught, he either did one of two things. He either went, okay, whatever. Or he went nuts and started calling everybody a racist.
So he pretty much just bitched out each time?
Oh, God. He acts like the stereotypical spoiled rich kid who mommy and daddy never had to hold him to account for anything. Anytime he gets called out, this guy is just, it's unfair. It's like any trope you've ever heard about lefties, he fits it. Let's go to our first clip. I'm going to switch between two attitudes toward this debate because I have two attitudes. One, I love how cunty, catty, and bitchy it is. I mean, these are two low testosterone, high estrogen dudes, and they are going to be little bitchy boys at each other, and I love that part. Then when they get to the actual meat and potatoes of actual debates, they're both so fucking stupid. This shouldn't be allowed to be broadcast to people because people won't learn anything from it. They won't be educated from it. They won't come away with this with a better understanding of Israel or Palestine or Hamas or Hezbollah or the IDF. Purely watch this for entertainment value because it's two retards being cunty with each other is what it is. Here's the first clip, Johnny. They start right away. Tech issues and bitchiness.
What's going on?
Well, I'm doing a debate. What about you?
That's what I'm doing as well. All right.
So, first of all, the first 8 seconds is teeming with passive aggressivism.
I don't like this whole online debate format. I like I don't know, call me old fashioned, I guess, but I like the idea if you guys are doing a debate, be literally standing right there, because you were mentioning how these are both low testosterone dudes. I feel like if there's literally no chance that your debate opponent can lose their shit and physically strike you, you're going to talk pretty ballsy all the time.
Personally, I don't think these two should be debating. I think it's bad for us as a... This is how dumb these two are. I think it's bad for us as a society that these two are talking. You know, everyone has this thing where we should be talking with the people we disagree with. I'm not so sure we should anymore. I think we've morphed as a society into something where maybe we shouldn't be talking to each other because it just gets so dumb. And debates now online are always like, hey, no, you. And then the response is, yeah, but you. And then it's like, and then the guys who love Hasan go, hey, Hasan destroyed Ethan. It's over. It's done. Ethan should log off. And then the people who like Ethan, Hasan got owned. Hasan should quit the internet.
Yeah, but neither of them are going to. So what does it matter? That's why, like I said, I don't take anything these two are going to say seriously, and this has no weight. The minute I'm like, oh, well, you guys are on a fucking video conference. If you really get upset with your debate opponent, you just click the X and leave.
Oh, by the way, as soon as this debate was over, he took off his little Palestine scarf.
Right, because he's wearing it as part of his costume.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Oh, are you going to show me all the time as well on the Zoom call?
Here, I can fix that. 1 second. Let me just set it to Ethan's output here.
If you want,
there you go.
If you want, just show like not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're going to talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
I don't know if it's gonna
Hasan,
be too difficult.
leave the production notes to my team. You can switch your show how you like.
So it's just so bitchy. Hasan is being a cunt, by the way. I do want to point that out. Hasan is like,
yeah, you're a guest. You're telling people how to do their show.
Yeah, fuck off, dude. How about we don't show you at all?
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a
for 2
while, my
years.
friends, and guess
Yeah, I
what?
know.
They are not now.
You can tell me.
No, I know.
So let's start. I mean,
I worked with them, so do what I say.
Yeah. No, Hasan's a cunt. Ethan's passive aggressive as fuck, and it makes for a hell of a discussion. Oh, and by the way, that's how it started. That was the first minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
This goes on for 4.5 hours.
I don't know how the fuck anyone could watch that to clip it. Thank you, Clippers.
They keep that energy up the entire time.
Well, that I'm not surprised about. You have Hasan Piker,
Yeah.
and a Jewish guy.
I'm coming to Los Angeles to kill you in your house. Sorry, every time someone says Hasan Piker, if they say Hasan, I don't do it.
All right, but if
But
they
any-
say Hasan Piker,
I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
okay. So this
You mean
debate
it-
between
you mean in the
Hasan,
ring? No,
and-
in real life.
the debate between Hasan and H3 here, he thinks it's okay to order them around just because he worked with them. It's not like they're like, hey, you know, when you work here, you're indebted for life, so we'll always do what you say. Hasan Piker.
It would be like if I went to RJ Rich's in Mounds View and I started ordering the cooks around because I worked there once. 199 from Coyote NV says, use your pickle scrubber on Johnny's feet.
I don't think that'll fix the bloating thing.
I'm gonna scrub your feet. That doesn't sound gay at all.
No, that sounds creepy gay.
All right, so now, by the way, thank you to at Awk, AWK 20,000. He's Yeet. His name is Yeet on Twitter. That's where I got all these clips from. It's at Awk 20,000. He again, you're talking about the people who had to watch this shit. This was an interesting point in the debate. Now, this goes to debate and tactics and how they behave. So Hasan Piker, I'm coming to kill you. So Hasan has made these statements that, you know, because in Hasan's spoiled millionaire mind, Nepo baby brain, Israel has never done anything right. Israel has never been victimized, and Hamas has never done anything wrong. And if anyone points out that they have done wrong, it's all a conspiracy. It's all propaganda. He's got a fucking, like I said, when I say he's got a college kid or a child's mentality about debate, you're going to see it on full display here. So Ethan brings up the fact, and now you may have a rudimentary understanding of what happened on October 7th. But Hasan denies that Hamas R-worded anyone on October 7th, that there were any women R-worded on October 7th. Said it never happened. Hamas doesn't do that.
Way far worse than that. They were R-worded and then like beheaded and stuff. Didn't they have like one lady splayed out on a car?
Well, Hasan says Pixar it didn't happen, bro. And Ethan calls him out for that. And Hasan goes from Mr. This is what I mean by this guy just being a fucking Palestinian LARPer. Is he goes from progressive, anti-colonialist to the minute it becomes Israeli women were victimized sexually by Hamas. No, there's no proof of that. First of all, it's insulting because I don't need proof, all right? It was a fucking terrorist attack. I know that women were raped in that. And by the way, again, fuck you, YouTube, for us having to say these words. Let's be fucking adults. We know what it is. But also, there's been more than enough people who have come out and said, this happened to me.
Right.
So Hasan basically says, I need Law and Order SVU to show up in a war zone during a terrorist attack to do grape kits. Otherwise, I don't believe it. This is Hasan trying to defend his position.
Hallucinating?
Ethan is currently playing a clip of a woman testifying in front of, I think, the Knesset or the World Health Organization or the UN, whatever, that this happened to her and many others on October 7th.
Ethan, have I ever said that rapes did not take place?
Well,
at least according to one credible personal testimony in captivity, not on October 7, but in captivity.
So he's like, have I ever denied that grapes happened? Yes, you just did. You just denied that they happened on October 7th.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that. There's the clip.
But now he's trying to work it into like, now it's, it in captivity. I don't like, no offense. I feel like if it was happening in captivity the day of, I don't know. I'm not going to count hairs that way. Either way, I'm a zero graping policy kind of guy.
It's not only a bad look for Hasan, but it's also just an abject denial of reality that makes, like, if this is your base, I can't believe a fucking word you say about anything. Because you automatically believe it if it's a whisper about Palestine. But if it's screamed and documented on the Israeli end and makes your side look bad, you deny it. And he's one of these guys who goes to imright.com and just tries to find articles that tell him it isn't true. He's an extremely insecure guy.
But he's a rich kid who thinks capitalism is the enemy. And it's like, you say that when you have money. Say that as a poor person.
You're right. I'm using a lot of words to say Hasan Piker is full of shit. Yes.
Kind of, yeah. Yes.
Over.
You're doing it right now.
What do you mean?
I know exactly what he was planning to do.
You literally
and yet I couldn't do anything.
Oh, by the way, he keeps talking over the grape victim, too.
Well, he doesn't want her to get her points out. I think the victim should have her spokesman Tech9 over there start saying things for her. I think he'll get the message out better.
I'm a beast. No, Hasan does this a lot during this debate where as soon as Ethan's about to play something that makes Hasan look bad or contradicts something Hasan said, Hasan just starts talking. Ethan, why are we even talking about this? He's a whiny Nepo baby.
To prevent
Wait, pause it for a second.
No. Listen to what she has to say, Hasan.
Ethan,
Hasan, don't silence her. Let her fucking talk. No, because you're acting like this never happened, that it's exaggerated, that everybody's lying, that Israelis are just inherently evil monsters that are responsible for everything bad that's ever happened. Listen to her.
Two things can be true at the same time.
And by the way, Ethan Klein, to his credit, is one of the people who says that. He says the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip is wrong. That Israel is committing war crimes and that the IDF could be considered a terrorist organization to the people of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Ethan Klein
I just got a lot of respect for Ethan Klein.
Ethan is not a Zionist. Ethan is not. He's a guy who lived in Israel for 5 years. His wife is from Israel. He probably criticizes what Israel does more than most Israelis do. But that's not enough for Hasan because Hasan believes that all the terrorism that Hamas and Hezbollah commits, that's totally fine. Hamas and Hezbollah have never done anything wrong, and they're just poor freedom fighters. They're like the Minutemen in the United States.
I'm more likely to believe they're controlled opposition than anything, but
Hamas is,
yeah. But it also, if they're not, like, you guys, way to really be just as hateful as the people that are supposedly the horrible people treating you badly. Like, there's no good side in this battle.
I actually saw Hasan on the hood of a car in New Jersey last week.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, it was a piece of shit.
Listen to her words.
I had no one to comfort me and was forced to act nice to the person who had just sexually
Listen to this victim. Show her some respect, Hasan.
Horrifying way.
Oh, it's so gross
Not
the
a
way
day
you're
goes
doing
by
this.
that I don't.
Ethan's gross. Ethan's this bad guy for showing this great victim from October 7th. Hasan, maybe if you didn't deny any of this shit happened, Ethan wouldn't play the clips.
Well,
and then
you're
he tries
the guy who threw down the gauntlet. Clips or it didn't happen. He plays the clip and you won't even let it play. Oh, you're gross for doing this. No, you're gross for needing it to get to this point.
Right. You know what I would have said? I would have looked at him. I would have said, Hasan, if you won't watch this, I'll staple your eyelids to your forehead. I would have given him the Francis Dollarhide. This is October 7th, changing. Do you see?
Think about what
gross.
that terrible man did to
It
me.
is. You're
such
show respect,
brother. That is fucking
no
gross.
person should ever be subjected
Dan,
to
pull the
such
fucking
brutal and
plug on this.
ruthless
Holy
treatment.
shit.
Now,
You really have no problem speaking over a rape victim when there's really.
Dude, you don't give a fuck about rape. Look, what are you doing? Look at what you're doing. I never said that no one ever got sexually assaulted in
First
captivity.
male rape survivor.
In captivity. She's not talking about captivity. She's talking about on October 7th, which, by the way, is not a difficult concept for any of us to grasp, you stupid Nepo baby. None of us would have needed this video played during this debate if one cuntbag rich kid asshole hadn't been denying it. It's like someone denying that planes hit the World Trade Center, and then you start showing videos of the planes hitting the towers, and they go, you're gross for playing this. You're gross. It's like, this is Hasan's game. He takes a stupid position and then sets the rules up in opposition.
And while you're hopping from one foot...
Hasan is an absentee landlord. And I guarantee you, while you're sitting there criticizing Hamas, Hasan is laughing his sick fucking ass off. The Hasan advocate. But Hasan does this thing where, like, I'm going to take this crazy position. And if you play anything to prove me wrong, you're sick. It's a shitbag move.
I'm just sick of him ordering around someone else's like production crew and stuff like, hey, I worked on your show. Hey, take this off the screen, guys. Like, just because I know your name, do what I say. Like, no, fuck off.
He really is Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, where he's like, shut this off, Dan. Why? Because it's devastating to my case. I mean, it's just fucking insanity.
But this whole thing, like this debate between these two is kind of almost an analogy for what's going on in the region. Like, regardless of whether or not either one of them makes any salient points, I don't want to side with either of them.
They don't.
The way that it's going down.
I will say this: Ethan has a little bit better grasp on reality.
Yeah.
Ethan has a better grasp on reality, whereas Hasan is just completely divorced from it. Hasan has this ability to just completely make reality what he wants it to be and then enforces it.
Well, when you grow up on the teat your entire life and then you have the career that he has right now because of his uncle and stuff, yeah, you kind of don't know what reality is. You live in literally a different world than the rest of us.
We have a different Katie throwing in $20 because she wants two Katies on the board. So Katie with 20.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
And let's put that second Katie on the board. This will be funny. So Katie is now at 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the other Katie is at 15. So hold on. Let me just get there we go.
Really hate to get more anonymous donos to put Katie's on the board.
Yeah, we'd hate to have more. Yeah, if the rest of you want to chip in $20 and all call yourself Katie, we could just get a fuckload of Katie.
Spell it differently, whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? That could be fun. 170 away from today. Thank you guys very much. You're the absolute best. Keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe, keep sharing the video. So Hasan and Ethan, so far, we've seen them be bitchy with each other. We've shown Hasan not be comfortable when he's shown clips that confront his worldview that
Great
he's
for
created.
a debater.
Yeah. And then now we have a clip. And again, these two both have such giant egos, and streamers do. We do. We have big egos. I'm not
Not if you have a
myself
small
from this.
channel. I solve that problem real easy.
So these two have such big egos, they can't take it out of the debate. Like, none of these points are being argued from Israel and Hamas. It's being argued from Israel and Hamas, Ethan and Hasan. Okay. And Ethan decides to get passive-aggressive on Hasan by bringing up the fact that he's 40 and has no children.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Oh.
I gotta say, every time Ethan did something cunty and passive-aggressive, I kind of thought it was funny. And the problem is Hasan is completely charmless and he's remarkably naturally unlikable. And when he's passive aggressive, it's always just like serious and lemon sour puss face and shitty. And
comes from a place of anger. You don't want to.
Hasan's an angry rich kid, whereas Ethan's a silly Jew.
He's cheeky about it.
The angry rich kid versus the cheeky Jew. And here's Ethan. And by the way, I think this is a great summation of a lot of people online, is the ones who have kids have an easy time just going, all right, that's it for me. See you later. Whereas
because you understand there's a world.
Yeah, whereas the people without children, or like a lot of the people on the Nobody Likes Onions Discord, people who legally aren't allowed to see their children, they need to fill that hole with something, and they fill it with steel toe, which I appreciate, but it makes them psychotic, angry, hateful, poisoned people, which again, I don't ever want to see you fixed. I don't want to ever see you get better. I think it's funny. But this is, so I kind of share Ethan's opinion here. I think Ethan does a good job of kind of baiting Hasan.
That after this clip.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
And
by the way,
you're not going to scare us. You're not going to.
I'll just say up front, we can end on that point.
Oh, I can keep going all day
sure
if you want to.
Yeah, I know. I know you go to bed tonight in a cool race car bed, but I have family.
Okay,
kids.
no, that's fine. Why are you thinking about what my bedroom looks like? It's kind of weird, man.
Yeah. No, you're right. You fucking badass fucking sports car bed. It's a meme.
Very odd.
Here it is.
As long as
That was the energy of the entire debate. It was just shitty, pissy, passive aggressive. You know, like, don't order my.
Thinking about my bed. He really isn't actually. He's pointing out he's got other things than you to think about. Okay.
Pointing out that you're 40 and childless, and he's got a family to attend to, and then he can only engage in this embarrassment for so long.
That's weird. I actually had to realize, yeah, no, dude, that's a pretty. I wasn't even trying to, and I achieved having a kid. So yeah, no. 40 and childless is
well, you can't have kids if you put it in a guy's asshole.
If you're always tapping at a stall in a Minneapolis airport, you're never going to have a kid.
No, I'm not saying Hasan is putting his penis in men's assholes or women's assholes. I'm just saying, as a matter of fact, you can't have children if you keep sticking your penis in a shit cutter. It doesn't result in children. That's all. Ethan, now this is another one where Ethan kind of exposed Hasan as the Nepo baby that he is, as the rich kid who doesn't believe in a fucking thing and will talk all kinds of shit. And when it's time to do something, Hasan is amazingly absent. Hasan wants to bring up the fact that Ethan's wife, Hila, was in the IDF. Now, you have to serve in the IDF in Israel if
you're an Israeli citizen. It's like mandatory.
So when she was 18, she was a secretary in the IDF. And Hasan criticizes her for that. And Ethan has a fantastic retort, because remember, while Hasan lives under the protection of the United States of America and makes millions of dollars and his family has millions of dollars, Hasan hates America and he hates imperialism and he hates colonialism and capitalism while he drinks a Dr. Pepper, wears a Rolex, and drives a sports car. So, and you know, people like Hasan was like, oh, so just because I have money, it means I can't take part in these things? Yes, it does mean that. Either you believe in shit or you can't wrap yourself in a fucking Palestinian scarf and talk about how evil the rich capitalists are and then behave like them.
When you're a rich capitalist.
Right. And by the way, be rich, that's fine. But you can't take part in any of this shit. You can't.
Jordan Peterson said something to a lady that was talking about how, like, oh, I know I've benefited from white privilege and this, that with my job and everything else. And he looked at her, he's like, so give it up. Give it to somebody who's not as privileged.
Yeah.
And she and I love the lady he interviewed for this, just knee-jerk reaction. She looked up and he goes, oh, I don't want to.
Right.
And so it's just, oh, poor me. I've benefited from privilege. Privilege is wrong. We need to understand that white people have privilege. So give it up. No.
Yeah.
That's Hasan Piker. Like, capitalism is evil. Rich people are evil. So give up your fucking money. Stop living in this capitalist world. Stop being part of a capitalist system and profiting off of a capitalist system.
And here's simply the honest way to deal with that. When someone goes, well, you're in the position you're in because of privilege. People either want to accept it and then do the white guilt I'm sorry thing, and then it's like you said, it's not genuine. Or they want to do the nuh-uh, and they want to try and fight against it. Here's an easy way to handle it. When they go, oh, you're a beneficiary of white privilege, just go, yeah, maybe, but what are you going to do? There. Done. Now it's over. Well, don't you feel guilty about... No, I don't feel guilty at all. All this shit was set in motion long before I got here, and it's going to keep spinning no matter what I do long after I'm gone. So this is just the ride I'm on. I don't know what to tell you. But you're not going to get any guilt out of me because I was born with a certain skin pigmentation. Sorry. That goes for everybody. So here's Hasan getting called out on his performative activism.
Do you want this to be unwatchable?
The reason why I know that, Ethan...
I ask myself that all the time when I'm doing my own show. Do you want this to be unwatchable?
I'm taking that as a yes.
Breaking the silence veterans who have come out and spoken out against this practice. That's why I know that.
Hasan, you say that Hila could have gone to jail and done a conscientious objection instead of joining the army. Why do you pay taxes?
Fair.
Why do you pay taxes to the United States government?
This is your big argument, Ethan?
Answer the question.
It's a fair argument. He did this the whole 4.5 hours. By the way, I'm helping you right now because you can take these 3-4 clips we're going to play. I think we have 1 or 2 left.
And then call that the debate.
Loop it. Just loop it for 4.5 hours. That's what happened. Every time Hasan gets called out, he either tries to talk over the clip or he tries to take a legitimate criticism and go, oh, really? That's what you're going to say? Well, yeah, because it's fair. You're saying if people morally object to something a government's doing, they should be conscientious objectors, even if it means going to jail. Then quit paying your fucking taxes to our military.
Yeah. You hate everything America does.
I pay taxes and I'm morally culpable. I know. That's why I try to fucking fight against this goddamn government doing this shit every day.
Fight against... Shut the fuck up, Hasan. You fight against the government. You sit there and stream for 12 hours. You eat fucking noodles while the news talks. Stop it with the I fight against it, you performative douchebag. Fight against it.
Hold on. Why don't you stand up for your principles and go to jail for it?
Because it would not actually stop. Okay.
Neither would Hila not going into the IDF. It wouldn't stop anything. So how about, this is amazing. The thing about Hasan is he's like, what do you want me to do? You don't even have to do anything. You just have to do less. You just have to shut the fuck up sometimes. You'd be fine.
Stop being full of shit would be an excellent start, but that's a bit of a high bar.
He is so full of shit. I don't even know if he knows he's full of shit, though, because it's kind of like, remember when that Brock Turner kid raped some girl in the alley and the judge said he had affluenza because he'd never been held accountable by his parents as a kid and he was raised rich, that he didn't know right from wrong? I think Hasan has a little bit of that rhetorically in his streaming and in his politics. Nobody's ever said, stop being a retard. Just stop being a dipshit for 5 seconds. He's lived in this bubble where he's always been the best boy, and he's just such a good boy, that Hasan, that any kind of criticism drives him insane. And he thinks it's a personal attack.
Okay, it would not actually stop. The reason why I'm saying...
what wouldn't stop?
I don't take issue with Hila's fucking actions then, as long as, just like you said, she was just 19 years old. I take issue with the fact that she still defends it on principle.
What is she?
So it's not that you did it.
It's that you're not damnating it right now.
Right. It's Hasan not liking that you don't. Hasan's argument basically boils down to, you don't think the way I do, so now I have a problem with it. If he said numerous times during this debate, Ethan, I'm kind of trying to softly nudge you into sanity, meaning like the way he believes. If you don't believe, there was a lot of gaslighting going on Hasan's part, but his idea of like nudging you into sanity is taking the positions that Hasan takes.
Which for someone who doesn't have kids, it's really weird. Like, I'm nudging you into sanity. No, you don't have children, so I feel like there's a part of sanity you won't ever get.
Yeah. Thank you very much to Wally World for $5. Now, Johnny, I don't know what to do with this because he says, add this to Katie's total.
But which Katie?
I got 2 Katies, bro. I'm going to make it, Katie 2 is in third. Katie 1 is in second.
Let's tighten up that.
I'm going to give it to Katie 2 and make it 20 to 20 is what I'll do. There we go. Katie 2 gets that one. Numero uno with $1 says both Kanye and Steel Toe coming out in support of a Jew. What a time to be alive, and what a terrible time to be Sam Show. Thank you. I've
never not supported them. I've always said I don't want to be part of Israel anymore. I'm tired of. That's one thing I don't like for streamers and podcasters is the hardcore like pro-Israel people. Like Ben Shapiro, where it's just like, no, I'm sorry. You live in this country and yet you refuse to be critical of that one, but you'll be critical of this one. So no, F off.
I cannot stress how little I give a fuck about who wins between Israel and Palestine. I just want to stop being a part of it as the United States. I don't want to.
I just want to stop sending checks.
I don't want to.
Weapons.
I don't want to fund and back either side's horseshit. That's what bothers me.
Double dealing under the table.
We've got one more clip here. This is the coup de grace. This is Hasan Piker getting absolutely bodied on a point, melting down, a switch flips. Johnny, what's a progressive's, and I'm going to go to the chat on this too. What is a classic progressive line to throw at someone when they're losing an argument? I'm going to see
a lot.
Chat, you guys throw it in too. We'll play the clip once somebody gets it. So you start making a really good point, especially on a topic like Israel versus Palestine. You have nowhere to go. You've backed yourself into a corner. What's a common phrase they like to throw at people?
Racist?
Bingo. This is going to be Ethan Klein. What's brilliant about this is Hasan brings up this guy. Some guy that Hasan thinks is the tits about Israel and Palestine. And Ethan goes, oh, yeah? Well, here's what this guy had to say about this point. And backs up Ethan's point, which makes Hasan lose his shit. So Hasan tried to say that in 1948, when Israel was being formed, a lot of the Jews that were run out of Egypt, Iraq, and other countries left because they were Zionists and they wanted to go to Israel. What had really happened was that all of these governments had started outlawing Judaism, outlawing Hebrew, becoming very hostile towards the Jews because Israel was being created. And those Jews were being persecuted. There were bombings. There were attacks against Jewish people in all these countries. And they ran to Israel for safety because their lives were in danger and their religion was in danger. One does not make the other right, and vice versa. But Hasan tried to say, no, it was Zionism. The people in the Middle East have never done anything wrong. The Arabs have never done anything anti-Semitic to the Jews. It's because the Jews just wanted to go live in Israel. They picked up their ancestral homes in Egypt and Iraq and everywhere else, and they just decided.
And they moved because they wanted to be there.
Yeah. It's kind of like what people say about the Nazis, where they're like, one day this Hitler guy just went crazy and lost his mind and snapped and started doing all this stuff, ignoring any reasons there might be for it. So Ethan starts playing this guy that Hasan really likes. And this guy starts making the point that Ethan's making. And Hasan loses his shit. This is the last clip we have. This one's my favorite.
Didn't leave
a great meltdown.
Because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
Okay.
Explain to me.
I can't wait to bring up Avi Shlaim on the broadcast to make you fucking look like a dumbass.
Avi Shlaim. No, that's the guy. Avi Shlaim.
I can't wait to. And now explain what he means by that. We did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
So, we're going to go back a second because he's about to melt his fucking ass down. So, Avi Schleiman said, we did not leave these areas because we were Zionists. We left these areas because we didn't feel safe anymore.
Okay.
And that upsets Hasan because that's Hasan's guy.
He means by that. We did not leave Iraq because we were Zionists. We left because we were no longer safe.
Iraqis are not Palestinian. You fucking moron. You racist piece of shit.
What?
Oh! And there it is. You racist piece of shit.
Says the guy who was talking over an R-word victim because she didn't fit his racial scheme.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Because Iraq and the pan-Arabic nationalist movements that arise out of
you are
Zionist
out of your mind.
Is not about Palestinians.
Okay, so what did the Jews in Iraq have to do with fucking Israel? You bigot.
Actually fucking
you are
the
so out of your mind.
And then Iraqis.
Dude, you screaming and grandstanding doesn't mean.
Again, anytime Hasan gets disagreed with, or anytime something Hasan says gets proven demonstrably false, it's either whatever or this kind of meltdown.
This is, again, to go back on something else that they said earlier, this is, again, proof that this asshole doesn't have kids. You're acting like a child right now, sir.
Yeah.
You're acting like a little baby.
Nobody should be fighting about this hard, especially your multi-million-dollar family, your own multi-millions, your mansion that you live in. It's performative. Take off the scarf.
You're right.
Iraqi government's racism during the pan-Arabic nationalist movements as a vindication for why, or a comparison as to why Israel had to do the Nakba.
Do you think
you fucking racist piece of shit?
Thanks, Hasan.
Do you think Iraq?
Do you want?
And by the way, Ethan Klein stacks a huge W in this because he's staying very calm because he knows he has the point.
Yeah.
And my voice squeaked like a child. Ethan knows he has the point. He knows he's right on this. When your opponent is melting down, we've said this when Patrick or any of these other people goes mental, just giggle, just laugh, just watch along and enjoy, because it makes you look very, very sane in comparison.
Arabs have one fucking mind.
Why
is that what you think?
Were the Iraqi Jews leaving Iraq in fear?
Of course there were Iraqi Jews that left
to get to the other side. Oh, shit, I always fuck that joke up. I'm sorry.
Somebody left a quarter over there?
To get their quarter back.
That's your lucky quarter.
That's your lucky quarter. Don't put it in your pocket. It'll get mixed in with the other Jews and become just a Jew. Which it is.
Why?
I've never said that there were no
Answer
Iraqi
the question.
Jews that left
You want to
Iraq
call
in
me
fear.
racist? Why were Iraqi Jews leaving to go to Israel?
Because you're a fucking moron.
That's why. The reason that the Iraqi Jews in 1948 were leaving Iraq to go to Israel is because Ethan Klein's a fucking moron.
That's it.
Wow.
Sir, why are you going to Israel? Ethan Klein is a fucking moron.
What incredible foresight those Jews had 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Wow.
Why are you leaving Iraq? Ethan Klein is a fucking moron. What can I tell you?
That's why they left. They left because I'm a fucking moron.
That Arabs are
Hasan,
not
you
one-minded.
coward.
That there
You
were numerous
coward.
pan-Arabic nationalist
Answer the question. You're going to call me racist, but you won't answer. Why did the Iraqi Jews leave Iraq?
There were numerous
because of
reasons.
anti-Semitism. They hated Jewish people that had nothing to do with it.
Ironically, Ethan kind of looks like Hitler right now. Grubenschlagen.
But yeah, it's weird. Hasan's getting his ass kicked by a guy who's having continual facial nerve tics.
His what do you call it? His not autism. Tourette's, yeah. He's got his Tourette's tics. When he gets worked up, it gets worse. But
yeah.
And also, Ethan's not a news guy. Ethan's not a good political commentator. Ethan usually sucks at this stuff, and he's making Hasan look like shit. Yeah. Ethan's a guy where if you brought Charlie Kirk or you brought, who's someone on the left, the redhead from the Biden administration, Jen Psaki on, they'd mop the fucking floor with Ethan Klein on any topic, and it wouldn't be difficult. Hasan Piker can't even handle this guy.
Israel. They were forced to leave. They were chased out. They lived there for thousands of years. They had businesses. They had homes that they were forced and abandoned to go to Israel because it was the only fucking place they could. Why would Iraqis hate the Jews living there if they had nothing to do with Zionists or Israel? Why?
Because settler colonialism
that has nothing to do with them, you absolute fucking dumbass.
Palestine.
Okay, fucking A. Dude, Hasan, no offense. You can't talk about the people, and now my voice cracked because it's Chelsea. You can't talk about the people around Israel, the Muslim communities around Israel, talk about settler colonialism. I don't know if you know this or not, but that kind of not any specific country, but overall that region kind of came north and literally R-worded whole society's genetics off a touch. I'm looking at you, Italy. And so I'm just saying, like, colonialism, settlers.
Let's not let Genghis Khan off the hook.
Dude, I'm not.
And
I'm
the
just
Moors.
saying in general, when this whole like colonialism, settlerism, if you're gonna go back far enough, you could argue that those people did it too. It's almost like people are tribes of people. If they went somewhere and they thought they could like take advantage and then subjugate that group of people, they fucking did. And now we're doing it with political parties. That's the only difference. Before it was a guy with a banner, and now it's a guy with a political stance.
No puny banner. Oh, sorry, different banner. I apologize. Such a fucking dork. I watched Ragnarok this weekend when the kids went to bed.
Okay.
Solid movie. Oh, and I finished Love and Thunder. The ending wasn't bad. The movie I didn't like very much, but the ending wasn't terrible. And Christian Bale can pull any movie he's in out of the shitter.
I might believe that. I haven't seen a bad one.
Let's go to Papa Shab. He says it would be hilarious if the IDF rigged his phone to explode at this very moment. Jesus. Papa Shab says Hasan is like Neil deGrasse Tyson. When something is said that he doesn't believe, he just flips the fuck out. I'll be honest, like Neil deGrasse Tyson looks more reasonable than Hasan Piker when he gets disagreed with.